Well, well, well. It seems like the Cowboys have not played for an eternity. You would think the Cowboys have been off for an entire month, and it's only been 2 weeks. But the Cowboys have been through a lot. The Cowboys get beat by the Arizona Cardinals. Marshawn Kneeland has an incredible fumble recovery. 48 hours later, next thing you know, Marshawn Kneeland is no longer here. The Cowboys, they pick up Quentin Williams, Logan Wilson, news about Demarion Overshown coming back, Savon Revel Jr. coming back, Kalen Carson's been looking good. So many things have happened to this team in a 2-week span, and it's almost like we've had a whole nother offseason. But Cowboy fans, it is time to get back to some football. Yup! The Cowboys are back on the field. The best therapy is getting back on the field. The fans are ready. The players are ready. I believe the world is ready to see the Dallas Cowboys on Monday Night Football. Welcome, 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 Cowboy fans and Cowboy haters alike. I'm the G. I'm the host of Let's Talk Cowboys, where we talk facts. And as you come into this live stream, please hit that like button, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know the next time we post another video or go live. And we are live. And if you haven't become a channel member subscriber yet, please do. We have a lot of great things coming up this season. Now let's talk facts. Cowboy fans, the time is now. It is time for this team to put up a shutout. This isn't just a Matt Eberflus game. This isn't just a Marshawn Kneeland game. It is time for this team to put up a shutout. And I mean all the way around, and we're going to talk about it today in our opening. But let me let you know what the show going to be about today, man. Got an exciting show today. I want to go back and look at this debacle just for a few moments. This doggone Lions versus Eagles game last night. Dan Campbell don't deserve to go to the Super Bowl. Don't even deserve to go to the playoffs, if you ask me. You don't do your team the way Dan Campbell did last night. The doggone Lions should have beat the Philadelphia Eagles. But instead, the Eagles win again. Go to listen to Todd Archer on 105.3 The Fan. Listen to what he's talking about with the Cowboys. If you haven't seen the video I released today, please do. Todd Archer released a great piece on Demarion Overshown. Also, we're going to listen to Lincoln Kennedy, whoever this is. He's going to talk to us about the Las Vegas Raiders. I'm thinking he's somebody from out there in Las Vegas. Then we're going to go back over our game preview that we did last week, and we're going to look at the road to the playoffs as we get into this game with the Raiders tonight. So here it is, Lions versus Eagles. Todd Archer, Lincoln Kennedy, game preview and the playoffs. Let's go! The Cowboys, y'all, are back on the field. Let's get a quick roll call in here. My man, Dominique Pittman, you are the winner of some Dallas Cowboys merchandise today. You are the first one in the chat today. Please send me an email at letstalkcowboysgbj@gmail.com, and I'll be letting you know what you will be receiving. I saw something fly last night, some Dallas Cowboys merch, and I'm gonna send you a piece of it. I appreciate you tonight. All right, let's get this thing rocking. Dominique Pittman, welcome to the congregation today. Appreciate you. Big Moss Dog up in this thing. What up with you? 864 Cowboys fan. He said we're not making the playoffs. People might as well get their hopes off that. It's too far-fetched. Cowboys fan, we're gonna go through it again today. Not gonna say it's too far-fetched. I think too far-fetched is too far, but it's going to be an uphill battle. There is no doubt about it. What is going on, Rena Zanquini? Finally, this bye week is over. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Lord Nova up in this thing. What's going on, Cowboys, Thanos? What's going on with you? We them boys. What up with your nephew? Bump it, TYX. What's going on from the 903? What up with you? My man RT Holman from the Flow Rider. What's going on with you? Good to see you. Lock and D in this thing. What's going on, Lock and D? It's the Juice Man. What up, Juice Man? Jacob Jackson in this thing. He said, I just got off work. Yes, sir. Right on time. Let's go. Daryl Mason up in this thing. He said, what up, Cowboys Nation? John Jones, he's asked me, what is up, G Money? I'm going to tell you again, it's a New Jack City. What is going on? Travis Beck, let's go. Travis Beck says, put the bang on the Raiders. Next week is the game that means the most. Hey, let me tell you something. This game has got to be the catalyst, though. Robert Simmons up in this thing. What's going on? He says, out here in Las Vegas, how about them Cowboys? Yo, Brian Worley. Got to get this win tonight, Brian Worley. Mark Davis, it's showtime. What's going on with you? Freddie Morales, El Chuco, what up? Queen, what up with you, Queen? She said Dallas 31-21. Y'all make sure y'all send those scores to my email address. Let's Talk Cowboys. Let's Talk Cowboys, gbj@gmail.com. Send those scores tonight. Whoever gets the right score, the first 5 people that get the right score, you will be getting some great Dallas Cowboy merch. All right. Devin Winners, what's going on? Bobby up in this thing. Headhunter, what up? Daryl Mason, what up? Seth, what's going on? Carlos Santana, what up? Ty Howard. Davion Wallace, what up with you? JG for real up in this thing. What's going on? Dorothy Adams, salute, good to see you. Dale Jordan up in this thing. Calvin Stringfield, what's going on? It is Mr. Get Dirty from Memphis. What up with your fam? Let's go. Lynn from the 903. The playoff run begins tonight. Energy Plug, what's going on? My man, the Big Run Bowski. He said Lincoln Kennedy is a former All-Pro offensive tackle for the Raiders. Okay, so he's going to be talking about the Raiders. What's going on? Yeah, I just put the email in the chat for you, Dominique Pittman. What's going on? Robert Dudley up in this thing. What up, Robert? Gene Martz, good to see you. Oh, okay, hey, I'm sorry, Gene Martz. I only follow the Cowboys for the most part. He's one of the greatest Raiders offensive linemen of all time. Let me put some respect on that man's name. I'm sorry about that. Ronnie Dub in this thing. What up? Lonnie Cabal, good to see you. Dale Jordan again. Let's go. I got the hookup. They don't know nothing about that. What's going on, Anthony? Good to see you. Stephen Gibson. Tyrone Church is back in the building. What's going on? D. Kizzle back up in this thing. Man, I appreciate y'all rocking with me today. Make sure y'all send y'all scores to that email address that I just put up. Let's Talk Cowboys, gbj@gmail.com. What is going on, Chevy? Good to see you. Edward Handy, what up with you? Deshaun Delaney. It is Lost in Translation. Yeah, he said we got this by 20 tonight. Paul, Leander, what's going on with you? Bert, what's going on? He said the rest of the league ain't waiting for our Cowboys. Straight up, I said it yesterday, we gotta win. What's going on with you? What's going on with you, DC4L? I see you. Hallelujah. Salute to you. All right, I appreciate y'all rocking with me. Appreciate y'all rocking with me. All right, let's get this thing going. I cannot forget JCT Slice, number one Dak Prescott fan. I'm number two. JCT said, gee, I need our defense to help Dak Prescott. If they can't do this, it's going to be the same cycle of the Cowboys losing in the playoffs and the trolls like Shady McCoy saying Dak choked again. The real estate vet, what's going on? Well, I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this, JCT Slice. The Cowboys are actually going to have to play some complimentary football. The Cowboys are going to have to finally play some complimentary football. What the Cowboys truly need to do is that this offense needs to get back to what it's supposed to be doing. I'm going to compartmentalize these things. There is no excuse for the Cowboys offense to be putting up only 7 points. The offense generated 7 points against the Arizona Cardinals with CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens. I'm just going to tell y'all the truth. I'm going to be 100% honest with y'all today, which I always am. But I'm going to say some things today that's going to be a little bit more cut and dry. There is no excuse. There is no excuse for Brian Schottenheimer to have George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb, and you're scoring 10 points in a game. I'm not giving you that excuse. I refuse to give Brian Schottenheimer an out. Okay, I gave you an out against the Denver Broncos. It's the Denver Broncos. Okay, gave you an out against the Denver Broncos. Has anybody noticed what's happening to the Arizona Cardinals since they beat the Dallas Cowboys? Let's stop acting like the Arizona Cardinals got one of the best defenses or one. Let's stop even pretending like the Arizona Cardinals even got a good defense. No excuse. No excuse. I'm riding with Brian Schottenheimer till the wheels fall off and the doggone frame is skating down the highway. I'm riding with Brian Schottenheimer. But what I'm not going to do is give Brian Schottenheimer an out. I'm going to compartmentalize these things. There is no excuse for Brian Schottenheimer to ever, with CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens as the wide receiver, ever on the same field to only score 10 points. I'm not giving it to him. I'm not giving it to him. I love Brian Schottenheimer. I'm not giving that to him. That is absolutely insanity. That's got to change tonight. No more excuses. And the reason why I'm saying no more excuses, it's been 2 games. Hold on a second. Let me get a couple of more on here. Angie the Rebel Chicks. She is back in the building. What's going on, Angie the Rebel Chicks? I am not giving Brian Schottenheimer any excuses for his offensive performances. They have been terrible. They have been terrible. Let me give you a couple of things why I'm saying this. When I look at the Arizona Cardinals, the Colts put up 20. The Colts put up 31. The Packers put up 27. The Cowboys put up 17. The Seahawks put up 44. Now, we know the Seahawks defense did a number on them. I think DeMarcus Lawrence actually had 2 fumble returns for touchdowns. But that's still only 14 points. The offense put up 30 on them. 49ers put up 41. So of these 4 teams, the Colts, the Cardinals, the Seahawks, and the 49ers. I'm sorry. The Colts, the Packers, the Seahawks, the 49ers. Tell me which one of them has the most explosive offense. Tell me which one of them has the best quarterback. Which one of them has the best wide receiver duo. Which one of them has the best running back. Tell me of those teams. We already know the defense has been terrible. I didn't say terrible, I said terrible. We know they've been terrible. That's no excuse for the offense to be bad. That's no excuse for the offense to be bad. The Cowboys are not scoring on drives. That has nothing to do with the defense. They're not scoring. Brad Schottenheimer says against the Arizona Cardinals, well, we got behind on the scoreboard. Yeah, you want to know why you got behind on the scoreboard? You couldn't score. It was, guys, if the Cowboys defense for the remainder of the season can hold a team to 27, the Cowboys ought to beat a lot of them teams. They ought to beat some of those teams. 27? The Cowboys offense ought to beat some of those teams. My eyes tonight is on the offense. I got news for us. The defense can't help but get better. The defense can't help but get better. How does the defense not get better? The defense is going to get better, y'all. I'm telling you, I don't want to see what we could be seeing, because I think the Dallas Cowboys defense is going to come alive tonight. And it's going to only continue to come alive because they got what Matt Eberflus needed, players. Matt Eberflus needed players. That's what he needed. I'm not telling you that his defense hasn't been atrocious. I did a video today and I explained this in the video because Emmitt Smith is saying the problem with the Cowboys is Matt Eberflus. Troy Aikman, on the other hand, is saying the problem with the Cowboys defense isn't Matt Eberflus. He's saying it's the players. No, I believe it's somewhere in between. My problem with Matt Eberflus is simple. Matt Eberflus, unlike Dan Quinn never had the linebackers he needed when he was in Dallas. I don't believe Jerry ever gave Dan Quinn what he fully needed, but Dan Quinn didn't complain about it. Dan Quinn did the best with what he had. And one thing that Dan Quinn was able to do with Al Harris and that defense, he was able to rush the passer. Part of that is because of Michael Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence, not just Michael Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence. They were able to do some things in the secondary when Dan Quinn was there. Think on this. Deron Bland was healthy. Trayvon Diggs was healthy. Not at the same time. We rarely saw him on the field at the same time, but either one of those were healthy. They had Jordan Lewis. The Cowboys, Dan Quinn did the best with what he had. Dan Quinn could rush the passer. Dan Quinn could create turnovers. Dan Quinn could play with a lead. But what Dan Quinn couldn't do is stop the run. Dan Quinn couldn't play from behind. Mike Zimmer steps in 2024. The defense was absolutely atrocious up until about Thanksgiving. But what I give Zimmer credit for is that Zimmer, rather than complaining about what he didn't have, he knew he came in on a lame duck year. Mike Zimmer did the best with what he had. And the defense got better, but it was better bad because it was still bad. But it got better. They started making plays. I mean, he was putting them in the right position. And I still argue, Mazi Smith looked the best he's looked in his entire short career with Mike Zimmer than he did anybody else. Didn't look good under Quinn. Didn't look good under Eberflus. But it was under Zimmer where everybody said, well, maybe Mazi is pretty good. But Matt Eberflus. I think where Matt Eberflus has crawled under the skin of so many players. I mean, so many fans, so many ex-players, so many media and 3 and 4 letter network people. Matt Eberflus is kind of smug, if you ask me. And I don't think he necessarily means to do it, but his demeanor, it's kind of smug, as in Matt Eberflus seems like he was trying to, rather than telling Jerry and the Cowboys, hey, I'm just going to do the best with what I have. No, I just want to show y'all that these players can't play in my system. And so rather than me trying to do the best with what I have, and I think he was even trying to do this, but it was so terrible, running 95, 96, 97% zone. And in the eyes of many, that was a cop-out. In the eyes of many, that was a cop-out. Because many of us were saying, hey, bro, we know you don't necessarily have the players. We know Kyrie Irving's been a bust. We know doggone Murray Jr. ain't playing well. We know all those things. But can you try to make some changes to try to do something with him? Matt Eberflus seemed reluctant to do that up until the last two games. Matt Eberflus seemed like he was reluctant to do that. But he started trying to make some changes. Now the Cowboys have went and got him some players. I think we're going to see some things different today. But let me compartmentalize. We know the defense has been terrible. Not terrible, terrible. What does that have to do with the offense? Brian Schottenheimer's got to change it up. And if there's a game he better change it up, it's this one. If y'all thought these other teams looked at the tape on Brian Schottenheimer, he coached for Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll knows how this man thinks. He knows how this man thinks. Brian Schottenheimer's got to come out playing checkers tonight. Brian Schottenheimer's got to come out and show Pete Carroll some things he hasn't seen. I'm telling y'all, the Raiders are built to stop some of the things the Cowboys want to do in the run game. What they're not built to do is to stop the things the Cowboys can do in the passing game. There are not many teams actually built like that. Brian's going to have to change it up. Stop running on first down. Throw it. Pass it on first down. Come out and go deep on first down. Stretch the defense on first down. You got to get that Raiders defense loosened up quickly. Because if you come out and just run the ball and let them settle in, it's going to be a long game. The Raiders don't have a trash defense. It's their offense that's been putrid. The Cowboys on special teams. I got news for us. Ever since Cavante Turpin has been on ever since he's been on the third wide receiver. Anybody noticed how the return game has looked? You got to imagine the thought process of Cavante Turpin. He's focused on getting on the field after the kickoff. And I noticed these last couple of games, dude been tiptoeing back there. He got to turn it up. Angie says, Shotty got to make sure his side is straight. Angie, the first 6 games, Brian Schottenheimer looked unstoppable. The last 2 games, he can't even get started. And I'm sure somebody's got to be having a conversation with him saying, hey, man, you've been had players. What's going on last 2 weeks? Now, we understand Denver. We saw what they did to the Chiefs yesterday. I mean, I can get with you on the Denver Broncos, but what I can't get with you on is the Arizona Cardinals. I can't get with you on the Arizona Cardinals. Because the Arizona Cardinals, since they played the Cowboys, I mean, they've been pretty much the Arizona Cardinals. They've been putrid. They're getting killed by teams. Angie, they're not going to admit it. I talked about this last week. Angie, they're not going to admit it. I think the Cowboys might need to admit that Guyton is not the left tackle that they're looking for. They've already seemed to have decided that Terrence Steele isn't the that Guyton isn't the left tackle that they're looking for, but they might need to admit they've already admitted that Terrence Steele is not the right tackle. The Cowboys are eventually going to have to admit that Tyler Guyton might not be the left tackle. But so before we get into the Eagles, let me just say this as I round this out. And I'm going to tell you why I'm excited to see the Cowboys tonight. I'm excited to see the Cowboys tonight because the Cowboys should be a different team. The Cowboys should be a different team tonight. Let me read Angie's super chat. My sister Angie the Rebel Chick, she said, "Gee, why does Flus barely use Leah Fowle?" Angie, it's strange to me. I don't think they have a lot of confidence in Leah Fowle. I don't think they have a lot of confidence in it. Because you think about when they decided that they were going to go with another linebacker to replace Jack Sanborn and kind of move things around. They didn't turn to Maurice Leaf-Fowle. They turned to Shamar James. What? They turned to Shamar James. Angie, I'm not sure. There must be something they're seeing on tape with Maurice Leaf-Fowle. Now, we know he's made a couple of bonehead plays this year, but the dude gets after it out there. He seems to be a hitter. But for whatever reason, I don't think the Cowboys. I don't think the Cowboys have any confidence in him. I think that's why they're not using him. I would love for them to tell us why, but they're not using him. But let me say this. The Cowboys should be a different team tonight. This game tonight is going to tell us so many things about Brian Schottenheimer. Brian Schottenheimer is a great man. I think he's a great culture builder, great communicator. I even think he's a great coach. And I don't want to just say great yet. I mean, we're halfway through his first season. But I think as far as all of the intangible things, he's a great coach. I still don't think he has everything that he needs. And I'm talking defensively, and offensively, I know the tackles are a question. But in the grand scheme of things, I think he's a good coach, great coach as it pertains to a man. Good coach as it pertains to kind of what we're looking at right now. But I want to observe tonight. I'm going to be observing some things that are not measurable per se statistically. How does Brian Schottenheimer channel what has transpired? How does he channel it? How does he channel what happened with Marshawn Nealon? How does he use that? Because this is how when things like this happen with Marshawn Nealon, how do you turn it into something therapeutic to where rather than you're looking at it and you're getting down, how do you use it and say, we're going to use it to motivate this team? I want to see how does he channel the Marshawn Nealon thing. Because the Cowboys have brought the jersey. They got a locker set up over in the Raiders Stadium. I don't know if you've seen this. The Cowboys have set a jersey up over there. And the Cowboys are going to bring that jersey out at the beginning. Yeah, let me show it to you over here on X in case you have not seen this. I think it is so powerful. The Cowboys have a locker set up for Marshawn Nealon. I absolutely love that they're doing this. It's very powerful. But my question becomes, all of this is great. Life is bigger than football. But we have to understand this part also. But football is a part of life. Football is a part of life. Marshawn Nealon loved football. Marshawn Nealon would want them to continue to go on and play football. He would want them to do these things. How do they channel this thing with Marshawn Nealon? Me, I think different when it comes to stuff like this. For me, this would be an upper for me. Because I would be playing, I can't say I would be playing differently per se, but there would be another level of something turned up in my head. There really would be something different turned up in my head. And I would be out here like, man, I'm laying this all on the line tonight. How does he channel that? I'm looking for, how does he channel that? The second thing I want to observe tonight is the aura of Demarion Overshown being back on the field. How does that affect the Cowboys defense overall? Because Demarion Overshown, it's not just his playing that improves the team. It's his overall aura, his charisma, the spirit that he has, the faith, all of these things. How does that affect this defense? I want y'all to prepare yourselves, because I don't think the Cowboys are going to run as much of that as that 5-2 defense as they've been touting. That 5-2 defense is a run-stopping defense. It's a liability everywhere else. If you run a 5-2 defense in the NFL, you're going to get destroyed. They're going to destroy you. A 5-2 defense is not built for motion. It's not built for trips. It's not built for 4 wide receivers. It's not built for outside runs. It's not built for a lot of things, but stopping the run, in particular, in the middle of the field. The strength of the 5-3 defense are the tackles. Well, if I'm looking at the Dallas Cowboys on tape, and I know that's the strength of their defense, I'm going to do some things similar to what Arizona did. I'll run jumbo packages. I'll run a lot of play action because I know the Cowboys are going to be extremely aggressive in the middle of the field in particular. I'll run some outside runs to get away from those tackles. I'll challenge. I'll put me a tight end. I'll run me some 12 personnel. I'll put me a tight end on each of the edges, and I'll run away from that ferocious up the middle, aggressive run stopping ability the Cowboys should have now. I will run away from that. If I'm the Cowboys, okay, you're going to run a 5-2, I got you. I'm going to roll Geno Smith out. I'm going to get away from those tackles. I'll do some quick pitches. I'll run some screens. Man, I'm just telling you, I'm not even a football savant. I would destroy that 5-2 defense. I would destroy that 5-2 defense. Don't let people fool you on that 5-2 defense. That 5-2 defense is great against the run. Against everything else, suspect. And suspect is probably putting it mildly. Man, you mess around and go up against an offensive coordinator like a Kyle Shanahan or one of those guys, man, they'll have you weeping on the field by the second quarter. I really want to see Matt Eberflus start implementing a system. And that is going to be 4 down, dropping 7. Because now you should have the firepower to do it. Kenny Clark, if I'm the Cowboys and I'm running 4-3, I know we paid Oso Digizua. I'm running Kenny Clark and Quentin Williams. My edges are going to be Donovan Ezeraku and Jadeveon Clowney when I run that base 4 down lineman dropping 7. I'm telling y'all, Quentin Wilson is going to do damage tonight. But the man I got my eyes on is Logan Wilson. Logan Wilson makes a Matt Eberflus defense go. I'm looking for all of these things tonight. How does Matt Eberflus look with these new additions? Again, I'm not expecting the 85 Bears. I'm not expecting the doomsday defense of the Dallas Cowboys in the 70s, the terrible tile of the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm not expecting those things. But I can tell you what I am expecting. I'm expecting a huge difference. And with these additions that he has, there is no way that this doggone Raiders team ought to be scoring 27 points tonight. There is no way. I don't think Matt Eberflus is on the hottest of hot seats, but I think the Cowboys have turned the flame on the burner. When they went and got those players, they turned the flame on the burner. So these are the things I'm looking for tonight. I'm looking for, how does Brian Schottenheimer channel this? How does Overshown change the defense? Can Matt Eberflus use these additions? And I also want to see what in the world does Brian Schottenheimer's offense look like, because it has not looked good if we're just being honest. Eternal Dynasty. He said the offensive line was the biggest issue in the last game. He said, let's not forget our left guard got smoked by a rookie making his first start. Okay, Eternal Dynasty. So I appreciate that. I appreciate that comment. Appreciate that super chat. Now, Eternal Dynasty. And I can agree with you. The left and the right tackle is an issue. Okay, so my question becomes, Brian Schottenheimer, what are you going to do about it? Eternal Dynasty? This is the same point that I made about Flus and Zim. About Zim and Quinn. Same thing I'm saying about them. See, so Eternal Dynasty, you tell me, hey, man, you know what? The left tackles and the right tackle are not playing good. Okay, so Max Crosby lines up, as far as I can tell, he lines up primarily on the left side of the defense going against the right tackle. So guess what I'm going to do if I'm Brian Schottenheimer, and this is why I'm not giving him any outs. Well, you put Brevin Spanford on that side then. That's what you do. You better not dare let Max Crosby go up against Terrence Steele or Nate Thomas. You better put Brevin Spanford lined up on that side. The Cowboys, they need to be running 11 or 12 personnel. They need to be running 11 or 12 personnel. And if they're going to run 21 or 22 personnel, if they're going to run 21, make sure the tight end is always lined up on the side of Max Crosby. That's how you neutralize that. You have Hunter Lipke in the backfield. So if you want to run to the right, you got Brevin Spanford over there on the right, and you got Hunter Lipke over there to run with Javonte Williams to the right. Line them up in the I formation. Whatever you got to do. Eternal Dynasty. I know we're saying the offensive line hasn't been that great. I can agree with you, but you don't get that excuse. This is a grown man league. It's called the pros. It's called the pros. Brian, I know you're going to tell me the problem, but I want you to fix the problem. Line up. Hey, you got to line up. Put some extra help on those sides. You do. Star Guardian X, appreciate that super chat. He said, G, you think the NFL found out how to play the shoddy offense? Can't wait to see what the defense looks like tonight. Hopefully it's serviceable. I think they figured him out. I think they figured him out so far for the first half of the season. It's no problem. Brian just needs to put some wrinkles in it. You're not going to change your entire offensive philosophy. You just need to make it look different. It needs to be the same offense. It just needs to look different. How about more motion? How about more motion on the offense? How about more of CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens on the same side? How about deep crossing routes? How about sending George Pickens on more jump balls? How about doing just throw in some wrinkles? How about developing an outside run game? Brian Schottenheimer has been very poor in the outside run game and almost non-existent in the screen game. We're talking about the stubbornness of Matt Eberflus. Brian Schottenheimer has some stubbornness too. Brian Schottenheimer has some stubbornness too. Because you can tell the Joneses want him to use Jaden Blue. Brian Schottenheimer don't want to use Jaden Blue. He only wants a strictly power run game. I got news for you. Certain teams are built for you to continue. If you want to continue to beat your head against the wall, if you're going to just continue to run through the wall rather than saying, okay, hold on a second, on the right side, there's a door I can just turn the knob and go through. Keep on beating your head against the wall, and teams are going to make you one-dimensional like they're doing the Dallas Cowboys. They're going to make you one-dimensional. Don't let teams take the run away from you. You need to run inside and outside. You need to loosen up defenses. Same thing I said about the Cowboys in that 5-2. If the Cowboys, if I were playing the Cowboys, they were running that 5-2 on me, I'm just telling you what I would do. Okay, you want to run that 5-2, I'm going to run away from it. Sweeps, quick pitches, screens. I'm going to run away from the strength of your defense, which right now for the Cowboys is their defensive tackles. Now, Demarion Overshown and Logan Wilson, when they get that going, Cowboys are going to really be on to something. And we'll see how that looks tonight. But Brian, man, he don't get no excuses. Same thing we've been saying about Matt Eberflus. Bro, it ain't good enough you don't have the personnel. That's where everybody's mad at Matt Eberflus. Bro, we don't want to hear you don't have the personnel. This is the professional football league. This isn't middle school, high school. This isn't college. This is the pros, bro. You make do with what you have. You don't have what you need, then you go out there and say, okay, how can I do what I need to do with what I have? Brian Schottenheimer's got a lot, man. He really does. He's got a lot on his side. Star Guardian, appreciate you. He said Logan Wilson is to us what Zach Bond is to the Eagles. Now, let me tell you something. Logan Wilson is the one player I got my eye on. I'm telling you, Logan Wilson is going to change this Cowboys defense. Matt Eberflus finally has what he needs. He has a Mike linebacker who is actually a pure Mike linebacker, and we already know that Demarion Overshown on that wheel is the real deal. Man, I bet you Matt Eberflus hasn't been in his sleep for days. Daniel M back in the house. What's going on? Flus was a Jerry hire, not a Shotty hire. I believe it. But I also believe the Shotty was a Stephen Jones hire. So they got to figure out a way to make it work. Ron Hanna said, "What up, G?" Man, prayers for you, Ron Hanna. Man, I was thinking about you so much last week, and I was waiting for you to come on. Man, I was thinking about you so much because of the thing that happened with Marshawn Nealon. I really thought about you a lot because I know, was it your son that you said you had lost recently? Want to make sure I don't have you mixed up, but you lost somebody in your family recently too, right? I was really thinking about you, man. I'm glad to see you. Glad to see you back home. Miss y'all family, been in the hospital, man. Glad you out back home in time for the Raiders game, y'all. Yeah, man, prayers up for you, Ron Hanna. Cowboys got to get you one tonight. Randy, what's going on with you? Good to see you. Good to see you up in here. Let me see. Cowboys fan, he said your old line not going to let you do what you need to do. Oh, yeah, they will. Cowboys fan, we can't give Brian that out. We can't give him that out, Cowboys fan. He's got too much firepower on that offense. Figure it out. Figure it out. I don't care if you have to roll Dak Prescott out to the right side or roll him out to the left side, roll him out to the right side, put Brevin Spanford over there, put Hunter Lipke in the backfield. Man, you got to do what you got to do. And I'm sure Brian knows this too. Man, Brian can't use that the right and the left tackle ain't playing well. He can't use that. No, figure out how to get past it. Let somebody chip. Make sure you keep somebody always on. Put a tight end on that side. Make sure he chips. Make sure he chips. Make sure he Brady, you got to be rolling up in here. Make sure you put a chip on the side where Crosby is. We don't pay you to tell us. I mean, we know what the problems are, but we don't pay you just to tell us what the problems are. We pay you to tell us what the problems are and then how you're going to fix them. Nah, we can't. We got to make sure. Got to make sure Brian understands too that, bro, you got to do what you have. Brady said, I called G, he declined me. Oh, man. Tatiana, what is going on? I'm excited for some Monday Night Football. Oh, I am so excited. I'm so excited. Rennie and Gwynny, you're exactly right. Everybody wants to beat the Cowboys. Brandy, let me tell you something. The Philadelphia Eagles have to be the most boring 8-2 team I've ever seen. The Eagles have got to be one of the most boring 8-2 teams I've ever seen. Let's kind of transition over to this thing with the Lions since you mentioned that. We're not going to stay on it long. But let me tell you something. The Philadelphia Eagles are in danger. And the reason why I say the Philadelphia Eagles are in danger, the Philadelphia Eagles are starting to remind me of the Kansas City Chiefs team from last year. And they're even starting to remind me of the 2023 Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys in 2023, and a lot of people didn't realize this, but the Cowboys couldn't keep living the way they were living. The Cowboys were on a collision course with an upset. The Cowboys couldn't stop the run. We knew it. Couldn't stop the run. And we knew that was going to get the Cowboys eventually, and it got the Cowboys in the first playoff game. To say the Philadelphia Eagles offense is absolutely pathetic is an understatement. The Eagles offense is pathetic. Jalen Hurts. Guys, I love Jalen Hurts. I've always rooted for him except when he's playing the Cowboys. But I got to admit it, man. They have figured out the formula for Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is afraid of tight window throws. He's afraid of tight window throws. Zone defenses are giving this dude fits. The Cowboys did it to him in the first game. And from that point forward, most teams have been able to stop them through the air. Where teams have not been able to stop them is in the tush push and in some of the running game. And the running game hasn't just been fluid this year, but they are pathetic. A.J. Brown won't be there at the end of the season. There's no way. There is no way A.J. Brown is there at the end of the season. Look at this right here. When I tell you the Philadelphia Eagles have to be one of the most beatable teams, Dan Campbell going forward 5 times on 4th down is absolutely ridiculous. Dan Campbell sold his team. Bro, it's one thing to say you have confidence in your defense and you going for it on 4th down. Bro, it's another thing when you're just not going for field goals or you're not kicking the ball and pinning another team deep and getting field position. Dan Campbell he's got to be one of the most arrogant coaches. Man, this guy is different. You know, way they should have won that game last night. Lost that game last night. Jalen Hurts, a professional quarterback, was 14 of 28 with 135 yards. What? If the Philadelphia Eagles were not winning, this dude would be benched. This is crazy work. I'm not giving, last week, Michael Parsons said we held Saquon Barkley to 60 yards, 65 yards. And I said it the other day. That was a terrible argument because Saquon Barkley, I said this 2 weeks ago. This dude ain't the same dude from last year. I've already shown the stats on these running backs. When they run for 2,000, 1,900 yards, the following year, they fall off of a cliff. I'm sorry. I'm not blaming this on the offensive line and all this stuff. Nope, Saquon Barkley has hit the wall. Running for 2,000 yards, people don't understand how tough that is. This dude has hit the wall. This dude has hit the wall. Maybe he'll get his legs back up under him later on in the season, but this dude has hit the wall, and I'm telling you, he's hit the wall. This is the fear of paying running backs. If I'm not mistaken, the Eagles gave him some additional money after the Super Bowl. I'm sorry, I'm a shrewd operator. I wouldn't have did it. I wouldn't have gave Saquon Barkley another or an extension deal or whatever they did for him. I wouldn't have done it because look, Saquon Barkley, 26, man, don't look the same. The Eagles have to be one of the most beatable teams. Now, their defense is good. I'm not going to lie. Jalen Phillips had Jared Goff last night seeing ghosts. Jalen Phillips added to that doggone Eagles defense was a great addition because he had Jared Goff all, man, I'm telling you, he had Jared Goff all in his feelings. And the thing about what they did to him, they only had 2 sacks, but the pressure they put on him, the result of the pressure was insane. This dude was throwing incomplete passes. I mean, it was pathetic what they did. And it goes to show you with Dan Campbell, and Dan Campbell has always been kind of he's always that gambler. But to show you how little respect he had for the Philadelphia Eagles offense, I believe that's why he went for it. Because he knew they couldn't score points. Philly is pathetic. They have to be the worst 8-2 team. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't mind winning games ugly, but it's beginning to be a habit for the Philadelphia Eagles. Jalen Hurts, I'm telling y'all, would be benched. If they were losing, he would be benched. 15 of 26, 183 yards? What? And to think people were saying this dude was better than Dak Prescott at the beginning of this season is mind-boggling. They have got to be one of the most boring 8-2 teams I have ever seen. Star Guardian S said, "Gee, it's that Madden curse with Barkley also." Appreciate you, Rick Carroll. He said, "Yes, sir. Facts, bro." But I'm saying all of this also because, Angie, what happened? You said, "G, baby, choke on some water." I thought I was a goner. Hey, I'm telling you, if the Cowboys could get the Eagles defense, oh, man. Or the Cowboys could get the Eagles defense. Or we be in a, man, y'all could book them Super Bowl tickets right now if we had that defense. What up, Justin Bradley? Raider Night. Jinty running all over the Cowboys D-line, covering Brock Bowers. What up with you, Raider Night? Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the chat. We're going to start talking about that in a moment. Hang in here. Big Rombowski said there's a chance that Flu simply doesn't know how to fix the defensive issues. These coaches are creatures of habit. Say it again. Find success with one scheme, then never willing to learn or adapt after. Big Rombowski, case in point, Brian Schottenheimer. Brian Schottenheimer, he wants to, hey man, I want a power run game, punish the defense. Hey man. But you can't do that every game. You don't have the personnel to do that every game. This NFL is a professional league. You have to figure out ways to beat teams on the regular. Man, you mess around and one team gets the formula for beating you and everybody copies it. So you got to always be willing to throw some wrinkles. I don't mind you doing what you always done. Just throw some wrinkles in it. You take, for example, you get a suit. You got a suit. You've been had this suit for 2 or 3 years. And you don't want to buy another suit for a certain occasion. So rather than buying a new suit, what do? Ladies, you got a nice dress. You people have seen it before, but you don't want to go out and buy another dress. And you say, well, how can I make this dress look different? How do I make this suit look different, men? What do? Men, we go out, we get us we might wear a different pair of shoes with it, some different socks. We get us a new shirt. We get us a new tie. We get us a new handkerchief. And that suit, people will see that same suit and go, you got a new suit? No, it's just everything around the suit is new. Ladies, what do? You go get you a different pair of shoes, different color shoes, different style of shoes. You wear some different jewelry. You might wear a belt around the waist of it. Maybe you wear a nice shawl around it. I mean, you just do things to make the outfit look different. You might carry a different bag with it. I mean, you do something different with your hair. And so when people see something they've been seeing the whole time, I can't tell you how many Sundays I have worn a suit that I have wore before, but I put a different tie, different shirt on, and then somebody will go, man, that's a new suit. No, I'm just making it look different. I don't mind Brian Schottenheimer and Rombowski doing the same things, but do what you did for Mike McCarthy in 2023. Throw some wrinkles in it. That's what you have to do. Throw some wrinkles in it. Brian's got to look different because I'm telling you, Pete Carroll knows this man. I'm telling y'all, Pete Carroll knows this man. Junior! What up? Appreciate that $20 super chat. Junior said, what's good, G? He said, I don't think teams have figured them out. He said, because they moved the ball. He said, we have an issue with red zone play calling. And red zone and third downs. Red zone play calling. I think it's a running back 2 problem. People were dogging Sanders. I bet they wish he was here now. Yeah. Well, hey, Junior, interesting news since you mentioned RB2. Well, I heard through Mike Fisher, the Cowboys have moved Malik Davis from the practice squad. Now, the last time the Cowboys did this, Junior, we thought they were going to run Malik Davis, and they didn't run him. But, this is why I say they figured out Brian. Because Brian Schottenheimer, once they take away his inside run quest, he gives up on the run. The drive stalled, and he gives up on the run. And then teams, they rush the passer on him because they know now that their tackles are weak. So they crash him down, make Dak Prescott throw the ball fast, and all he's going to do is throw short stuff and underneath if you're going to do him like that, and it's the ball game. Hold on a second. Let me pull up. Mike Fisher was talking about this today. Because I was wondering, I saw the Cowboys moved up Malik Davis, but I was wondering if they I was wondering if Jaden Blue was going to be a healthy scratch today. Let me see here. I don't see anything on it yet. I'll look at it here in a moment. Let me see. Jaden Blue could actually be a healthy scratch. I would not be surprised. Because again, they brought Malik Davis up from the practice squad. So I think they may try to run him. I think they may try to run him some tonight. At least that's what I'm thinking. What up, Poobie D? Lisa Worley, what's going on? Yeah, Warren Duncan, I agree. The Eagles want to spread you out so Hurts can run. Sometimes it's with play action, but mostly when they spread you out. Yeah, man. They have to be the most boring 8-2 team I've ever seen. Ryan R., I'm telling you, if Jalen Hurts was on any other team, or better yet, if they had a losing record, they would be talking about benching this dude. Ryan said Hurts is overrated, G. Philly fans defending him, but it's no way a quarterback should get 135 yards. I agree. All right, let's move on over here to Todd Archer.
Here we go.
Let's move over here to Todd Archer. Todd Archer over here on 105.3 The Fan has a few things to say about the Cowboys. Let's go check out what Todd Archer has to say. And again, make sure you check my video out after this live stream. He wrote a great... Oh, no, I hadn't released the video yet. I'm going to release a video on it later on sometime tonight about Demarion Overshown and Britt Brown talking about Demarion Overshown. I thought it was absolutely incredible what he said about Demarion Overshown. All right, let's pull up Todd Archer. Todd Archer over here on 105.3 The Fan talking about the Dallas Cowboys. Let me see here.
Archer from ESPN, 22 seasons plus on the Cowboys beat. And a good afternoon, Todd. How the heck are you?
Old now. Thanks for saying that.
Well, I mean, you and me both, brother. Can't avoid it. Now, speaking of age, how do you do a trip to Vegas these days? What's in your on the itinerary?
I would not be they will not use me in any of their commercials for the Visitors Bureau there. I will be. Although I will say I will go to, I'm not going to name the place because I want everybody else to go there, but I'll hit my favorite Italian place in the country for dinner on Sunday nights.
Pretty much a business trip then. No wagering at all for you?
I told somebody today I might stop by a table and put down $20 or something on odd or even on a roulette, but no, I'm not. Maybe I'll watch some games or something, but no, I'm not a big gambler type, unfortunately.
Wouldn't want to get you.
Maybe fortunately.
Yes, I think that is actually a blessing. Now, what about the odds, so to speak, or would you gamble on the Cowboys being better and to what extent defensively in the second half compared to what we've seen so far?
Well, I'm getting ready to write a story just about today. We talked to Demarion Overshown, Savon Ravel, Quentin Williams, and Logan Wilson. And all of a sudden it hit me. I'm like, wow, those four guys are playing in their first game Monday. So I'm not expecting gangbusters on Monday against the Raiders for this defense to look like something that it hasn't looked like the entire season. But I think through the second half of the season, they have to show some improvement, or else they could be looking for their fourth coordinator in 4 years. So there's a lot on the line for this defense starting Monday against the Raiders, and the guys that I just mentioned, when you think about them, Williams is a all-pro, Pro Bowl guy. Logan Wilson is a guy that has more interceptions than any linebacker in the last 5 years in the league. And sadly, he leads the Cowboys in pass deflections with 4, and he's not played a game for them yet, which is a stunning stat that Bobby Belt came up with a couple weeks ago. And Overshown, he was the third Cowboy since '82 to have 5 sacks, a fumble recovery, and a forced fumble in the same season. I think it was Greg Ellis and DeMarcus Ware, the only other guys that have that type of year. So him coming back, and then Revel, there was a lot of excitement about him in the draft process, even from Broadus probably about him.
Yeah.
And so you're You're seeing different. You're seeing what Jerry's talked about in terms of help is on the way. Now, how much can they help? 2 new guys, never played it down here. One guy coming back from 3 torn knee ligaments, and another guy coming back from 1 knee ligament torn, and never played an NFL game. I do think you need to temper expectations, but this better be a defense that plays significantly better in the last half of the season, and probably against much better offenses than they've already played.
Yeah, Todd, I was going to say that. Do you feel like that they gave away some games earlier? We had Stephen Jones on, and he was not too interested in our talk about, well, you got to go 6-2 and this, that, and the other. I mean, he seemed very much like hey, I realize what we have to do. But do you feel like that they kind of gave away some stuff, and that's kind of why they're in the position they are right now?
Well, sure. I think, when the schedule came out in, May or whatever.
I see you, Angie. Angie said, Lisa Worley, you think Tober will get a touchdown tonight?
You looked at some of those games and you said, okay, they beat Chicago, beat Carolina, beat Arizona at home. So when you don't do that, now all of a sudden you look at the games that you had as losses back when you did this exercise in May, and you're thinking, where are the wins coming from? Like, are they going to beat the Eagles at home? Are they going to beat
Raider Knight? Let me tell you something, Raider Knight. Raider Knight said most likely going to be a boring, low-scoring game. Raider Knight, I'm going to tell you up front, if it's a low-scoring game, y'all might win that one. The Cowboys' key to beating y'all, we're going to talk about it later on, Raider Knight. I appreciate you rocking with us tonight. You hang in there. But I'm going to tell you this, Raider Knight. If y'all hold the Cowboys to 20 points or 17 points, y'all might win that game. The key to beating y'all is Cowboys need to just need to go ahead and take it to y'all, man. Get up on the scoreboard, just take it to y'all. Because the thing I don't like about Pete Carroll, Raider Knight, this dude don't mind winning the game 2.5 to 3. He don't care about winning the game 3.25 to 5.5. Pete Carroll don't mind winning ugly, gritty, low-scoring games. He don't care. He don't care. He's built so different like that. It's one of the things I don't like about Pete Carroll. I mean, I guess you like it if he's your coach, but I wouldn't even like it as my coach because Brian just don't. Pete Carroll just don't mind playing close games. He don't care if it's 0.12 to 2. He don't care. He just want to win. Hey, 70 boy. Hey, he said they had golf in a blender. Straight up. Man, they had that man seeing ghosts last night. Had him seeing ghosts. Daddy in this thing, Daddy Dallas Cowboys, let's go. What's up, Daddy boy? Ryan, that is exactly the problem with the Eagles. They keep winning. It's one of the worst things you ever saw. I just knew the Lions gonna beat them last night. Absolutely pathetic. Pathetic. Man, 72 Chevelle, he said golf was a frozen popsicle last night. Boy, golf didn't know what to do. Oh, that man golf didn't know what to do, boy. That man lost his mind, man. That man lost his mind, had me laughing. Hey, Ronald, I ain't gonna be careful what I'm saying. Detroit is the game I have circled on that schedule. That Detroit Lion game, Ronald, gonna be tough. Dan Campbell don't like the Cowboys. Dan Campbell got a vendetta against the Cowboys. We might as well get ready. What up, Bernard? Hey, we might as well get ready. Whatever Dan Campbell can do to embarrass the Cowboys, that's exactly what he's going to try and do. It's exactly what he's going to try to do. Now, ain't even no point in trying to sugarcoat it, bro.
Beat the Chiefs? Can they beat the Chargers? The last 2 games, division games on the road against teams that are struggling, maybe that looks a little bit. But yeah, man, this is a math equation at this point. And the math is not mathing for the Cowboys. as they get back to the field, in addition to everything else that they've had to deal with over the last week, 8-9 days. So there's a lot of things that aren't favoring Dallas right now. However, playing a Raiders team that is equally struggling could be something that helps them as well.
Todd, with the when you mentioned all these the guys coming back though, and you start talking about maybe changing out the coordinator though, have you found though that could it be a scheme related thing? Is it the buy-in thing? Do you have any kind of answers for why it's been kind of the way it has been?
What's the Jimmys and Joes thing?
Yeah, it's not the Jimmys and Joes, not the X's and O's. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. That's a big part of it, right? And
sure.
They're adding some Jimmys and Joes here, so let's see how this changes and how. And again, it doesn't need to go and be doomsday. It doesn't need to be the 85 Bears, but it needs to be something that you can look back at the end of the season and say, okay, we've got pieces in place here that we can build around that performed well, and we can go forward and keep some continuity with the scheme. And with the coaches. And I think that's ultimately the goal on the defensive side. And I think for the offense, you got to look at how different they are when they play at home versus how different they are when they play on the road. We can talk a lot about road difficulties, but the Cowboys, when they go to some of these stadiums, there was more Cowboys fans. Let me change that. There were louder Cowboys fans in Carolina. So they didn't even have to deal with some of this stuff. Chicago is not, especially in September, is not a difficult place to play. Denver, that's always going to be hard for the Cowboys just because it always is. But, they've got to figure out what they are on offense here.
Yep.
And make sure a good running game is supposed to travel.
Yep.
And a good running game has not traveled, especially the last 2 games.
Yeah.
Todd Archer here with you on The Fan.
Hey, Todd, what do you make of the competition at right tackle talk now that we're starting to hear?
Hold on before they start talking about Terrence Steele. Yeah, Angie the Rebel Chicks, she's already said she wants to see Malik Davis tonight. Pure Gaming said Maffa looked just as good or better than Malik. Hey, I don't know what's going on for Maffa, going on with Phil Maffa, man. The Cowboys done stashed this dude in a closet somewhere because we ain't heard nothing from him. Tatiana, she said Malik Hooker playing tonight. Yeah, they moved him up. Now, hey, they moved him up the game before. I'm not sure if it was the Cardinals. It might have been the Cardinals game. He got 1 snap. So, Bernard Fields, I like this statement. Shotty possessed by Mike McCarthy play calling sheet. Yeah, I agree. Because he's looking about as boring as that right now. Star Guardian X, appreciate that super chat. He said, Shotty, he said, I don't get it. If you want to punish team with power running backs, then stop playing and have both Williams and Maffa crushing them. Hey, Star Guardian, man, they got this dude Phil Maffa stored in mothballs somewhere. Oh. Man, I don't know what's going on with Phil Maffa. Or the Cowboys done put this dude somewhere, man. They done put this dude, they done stashed him somewhere. Hey, Mike 3, exactly. Cowboys don't need to play around with the Raiders. A low-scoring game is exactly what Pete Carroll wants. If Pete Carroll can hold the Cowboys to a low-scoring game, they got a good chance of winning. I don't think they're going to win it, but I think they got a good chance of winning. They got to come out here and put up points on these boys. Take their, just take their soul away from them early. Get up on them 17 points early. Tatiana, hey, I got you. We'll do that at the end. All right, yo. Now, y'all make sure. Y'all send, let me make sure. I'm going to check my email in just a moment. Somebody said they sent me an email about the score. I want to make sure I do some giveaways tonight. Dominique Pittman has already won some Cowboys merchandise. And I'm thinking, Dominique Pittman, you still in the chat? I'm a Fashion Nova. I'm a Fashion Nova guy. My sons always say I'm too old for Fashion Nova, but I like Fashion Nova. Matter of fact, I got this top I got on tonight. I got this top. If y'all can see it, this top is crazy. I got this top from Fashion Nova. It's a hoodie. And I don't think they have these anymore. But I'm thinking Dominique Pittman. Let me see. Hold on a second. Let me make sure. Yeah, I don't think they have this anymore. They actually got some new items on here, man. They're pretty nice, too. Got some new items on here. But this is what I was thinking about Dominique Pittman. If you still on here, tell me what you think. Dominique Pittman, this is what I think I'm gonna send you. Tell me what you think about that. That's that new quarter zip. I haven't seen this anywhere. It's brand new. They just dropped this. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you think, Dominique Pittman, if you're still in. But I think that quarter zip is nasty. I'm going to get me one of those. Incredulous in this thing. He said low score in his butt. He said the Cowboys fixing to drop 50. Yes, sir. That's what they need to do. They need to put up points on these boys, man. Incredulous. No problem. But, hey, incredulous. They need to put up points on these boys. Man, you do not want no 13-point game with Pete Carroll. That's exactly what he likes to do. Shoot, Pete Carroll don't mind no doggone crazy score, 1/4 to 3. He don't mind those kind of games. Hey, Bert, I'm not trying to be funny. Hey, that's Edge of the Rebel Chicks. That's why I was laughing, because she asked. Lisa knows she my dog. Lisa my sister. She know I love Tober. All right. So this is what I'm gonna give away to Dominique Pittman. So y'all make sure y'all send those scores over to my email address. And I think I'm gonna give away probably about 3 of these. Dominique Pittman already got one, and so I'm gonna give away 2 more of these tonight. What do y'all think? I'm gonna give away 2 more of these tonight. Also, I think what I'm going to do tonight, let me make sure. We're gonna come back to Todd Archer in just a moment, because he's about that left and right tackle.
So we see just.
And I do want to hear him talk about that. Hold on a second. Somebody said they sent me an email. I want to make sure I got my email right. We still haven't had our 20,000 subscriber show yet, but we're going to do it. Okay, so Daryl Mason has sent me his score. Daryl Mason said he think it's going to be 43-19. So I'm going to put that in. Lisa Worley, you like it? Oh, I would get you one too, Lisa, but they ain't got no more of these. Let's see. Hold on a second. All right, so I just put that address down in the chat again. Dominique Pittman, let's see. All right, now, Dominique, I see you in here. Now, what do you think about this quarter zip I got up here? This is what I'm sending you. Oh, okay, Dominique, I see you. Dominique said, let me go get that. Yes, sir. I'm going to hook you up. I'm going to hook you up and 2 more people with this. So I want y'all to make sure y'all send me these scores. Okay, I see Davion Wallace. Got you, Davion Wallace. Y'all make sure y'all send me these scores. And whoever gets the scores right, I'm giving away 2 of these bad boys tonight. So, also going, let's see. So what we're also going to do tonight, y'all tell me how many tackles will Demarion Overshown have tonight? Y'all tell me how many tackles that he's going to have tonight. We're going to give away more stuff on Thanksgiving. I think we're going to do Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving will be the 20,000 subscriber stream for me. So, we're giving away 3 of these quarter zips. This is the new style. I don't know if y'all seen this. The YNs are turning the YGs. I'm not sure. I got to look up I got to go to the Urban Dictionary. I'm not sure what the YG mean, but they're saying the YNs are turning the YGs. They're going away from the Nike Tech and they're going to the quarter zips. So the quarter zip is all the new phrase. All the new thing. So Dominique Pittman has won already one of these quarter zip Cowboys tops from Fashion Nova. That's my spot. I'm sorry. That's my spot. So I'm going to get you one of those, Dominique Pittman. I'm giving away 2 more of these tonight. So the other 2 people who get the score right, I'm going to pick the top 2. If it's 2 or 3 or 5 or 10, get the score right. The top 2 who get it right, you also will be getting this quarter zip Cowboys top. This thing is dope. Also, send me how many tackles the Mario Nova Show will get tonight. Whoever gets that number right will be receiving an Agent Zero jersey. Let's go! Yo! Whoever can tell me whoever gets it right of the amount of tackles of the Marion Overshown, whoever gets that number right will get that Agent Zero jersey. Let's go! Let's go! Yes, sir, Dominique. Appreciate that super chat. He said I'm in there like swimwear. Yes, sir. I got you, my brother. I got you. Make sure you send me your address. You already sent me, make sure you send me your address to that email address I just put in the chat. So, Warren Duncan, send me that. Send me how many tackles Overshown get tonight. Send that to my email address. Got you, Headhunter. Appreciate you. Save me having to go to the Urban Dictionary. Headhunter, they going from YNs. Y'all know what YN stand for. We going from YNs to young gentlemen. Yeah, we all don't want that for our young men. We all don't want that for our young men. All right. I see the emails rolling in. I'll be going through these tonight. Hey. It's time to get that Agent Zero jersey. We still got to give away a George Pickens jersey. So we'll probably be giving that George Pickens jersey away around Thanksgiving. Matter of fact, so we're going to add, we got to add about 4 jerseys. So we're going to be giving away around 4 jerseys over the next 2 months. We got to give away a Quinnen Williams jersey. Got to give away a Kenny Clark jersey. Got to give away a Logan Wilson jersey. And hey, man, we might as well throw a 4th one in there. We got to give away a Savone Revel Jr. jersey. Yeah, 4 jerseys. We're going to give away 4 jerseys over the next 2 months. So somebody in my house will not be getting a Christmas present. Let's go. Hold on, let me put that back in there again. Let me put this back in there again. Let's go. That is the email address. So tonight, we are giving away 3 of these quarter zips going from YNs to YGs. And we're giving away that Agent Zero jersey. We got to give away that DeMarion Overshown jersey. And so what we will do tonight, I'm coming back for Cowboys After Dark. I don't care if I got to drink 5 cups of coffee. I'm coming back tonight for that. I'm coming back tonight for that Cowboys After Dark. And we are going to give away these other 2 quarter zips. And we will be giving away that Agent Zero jersey. Let's go. Yeah. Real Estate Vet, he said, we're going to air it out tonight. Number 3, number 88, 100 yards each. Man, let me tell you, they need to let George Pickens and CD Lamb eat on the Raiders. Man, if I'm the Cowboys, I'm just going back and forth on them. There is no way teams should be holding these 2 wide receivers. They are too good. We don't have to even debate who's the best. They are both top 4 wide receivers in my book. And I just say, you got to use both of them. Both of them. When they try to get one, you get the other one. They try to get the other one, you go back to the other one. Sprinkle in me a little bit of Ryan Flanoy, put him at that third wide receiver spot, give me a little bit of Ferg, and we should be good to go. We should be good to go. All right, Gene Martz, Dan Solo, y'all make sure y'all put all of this in my email address if y'all want that opportunity to win that Agent Zero jersey tonight. Make sure you put in there how many tackles for Agent Zero. We're giving away that jersey tonight, and then we're going to give away 2 more of these quarter zip tops. We're going to give away 2 more of those for whoever gets the score right. All right, let's check out some more of Arch. Man, we got a long way to go. We're going to be all the way up today to 7 o'clock. So we're going to listen to the rest of this, check out the next one, and then we're going to get back into our road to the playoffs and the keys to victory for the Cowboys tonight. Man, I appreciate y'all rocking with me. Let's get this thing going. Let me go back to where I was here. All right, let's get back to Todd Archer. He's about to talk about the Cowboys' right tackle because they said that Nate Thomas and Terrence Steele competed for the right tackle spot. Won't be surprised if you see both of them because Cowboys got to stop playing. Cowboys going to probably have to seriously address this left and right tackle thing in the offseason. And you can't just be trying to put bargain pieces there. You want to win a Super Bowl, you got to get that offensive and defensive line settled. I think the defensive line is pretty much settled. Maybe you need one more. I want the Cowboys to keep Jadeveon Clowney. Donovan Ezeraku is going to be a premier pass rusher in this league next year. So the Cowboys' defensive line is coming together. You get that offensive line together.
Just very little practice. But Terrence Steele was still with the first team guys.
Yeah.
So during the individual drills and things like that, nothing had changed there. So maybe you see what we saw. What game did Guyton get hurt when Nate Thomas came in and played a series at? It was a Green Bay game.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll see some of that going forward. So I haven't heard of any lineup changes from talking to people here that see more practice than I do just yet. I think you'll see Quinnen Williams start. I can guarantee that. I don't know if you'll see Logan Wilson start. He talked today. He's not sure what the role is, but he's done extra to kind of catch up on what they want from their linebackers in the scheme and spending extra time with Dave Bergonzi, the linebacker coach, and understanding all that. We'll see how much Rebel plays, but Overshown today, he's like, look, I might be on a pitch count, but these guys know if there's a key play, a key moment, and then I've reached that limit, I'm gonna be on the field playing. So I'm really anxious, anxious isn't the right word. I'm excited to see what Overshown can do because the story of his comeback from the 3 torn knee ligaments, and I'll have a story out Monday that he kind of delved into a lot of the.
I got a video coming out on this article that he wrote. I already recorded the video. I just haven't edited it. I haven't edited it. I'm gonna drop that sometimes tonight. But man, I am telling you, this story that Todd Archer wrote is absolutely incredible. I absolutely loved it. It'll bring a tear to your eye, and it'll really let you know that Demarion Overshown is the right kind of player.
Not the struggles, but the rehab process and his relationship with Britt Brown, the director of rehab and things like. There's some things that we didn't know about with that surgery that will kind of make people say, "Wow!"
Yeah.
And the fact that he's out here less than a year later is just amazing.
Looking forward to that. Todd?
How about that for a tease right there?
Yeah, that's a hell of a tease. We'll be on your Twitter or ESPN Dallas looking for that on Monday. We'll cover it in the C-Note. Now, how much different? You were a 10-year veteran of the beat the last time we had a Cowboys tragedy there with Jerry Brown. How is this Marshawn Nealon story compared as far as how it impacted the building?
Marcus Paul 5 years ago, right?
Yeah.
The strength and conditioning coach who passed away before the Thanksgiving game. And, every situation is different and circumstances are different. And just the suddenness of the loss is probably the only thing that's comparable to this at this time. But I think, yesterday.
All right, hold on a second. And let me go back over here. So, tell you what I'm gonna do. So, for the ladies, I'm going to give you, and as a matter of fact, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. For the ladies, I'm going to give away 2 additional. So now we're giving away 5 tops total. 2 of those will be designated to the ladies. Angie, Laura, Angie, Lisa, all of y'all out there, Tatiana, all the ladies, Dolores, Nisi, Queen, y'all put y'all scores or whatever else in, and I'm going to give y'all the option of this particular top. I think this is dope for the ladies. Because I'm sure you can wear that quarter zip in men's if you want to wear it, but I'm going to give the ladies, I'm going to pick 2 ladies also. So the ladies, I'm going to give you the option of this top right here. Y'all tell me what y'all think down there in the chat, ladies. What do y'all think about this top right here? I'm going to give away 2 of these exclusively to the ladies. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Tell me what you think, ladies. Angie, tell me, is it rocking? Tell me what you think. But this is what we're going to give away for the ladies, unless they want the quarter zips. But I want to give away 2 of these to my ladies. Well, I shouldn't say to my ladies. I only got 1 lady like Jodeci say. But I want to give away 2 of these to the ladies in the chat. So this is what we're going to be doing. So we're giving away 5 tops. My man, Dominique Pittman, he has already won a quarter zip. That thing is absolutely nice. I am going to be getting me one of those. I'm getting me one of those too. Dominique Pittman, you're going to see me with that quarter zip on the stream. So Dominique Pittman has already won one of the quarter zips. We're going to give away 2 of those. And then for the ladies, we're going to give away 2 of these unless they want the quarter zip. And tonight, we're giving away that Agent Zero to Marvion Overshown jersey. Let's go. And this ain't even the 20,000 stream giveaway. We're gonna give away even more on the 20,000 stream giveaway. Man, I appreciate y'all. Man, this community that we've built together, man, this thing is incredible. Changed my life, and I hope it's been a joy to y'all. But I appreciate y'all rocking with me. Couldn't do none of this stuff that I've done since I've started this channel without y'all. Man, y'all are the vehicle that keeps this thing going, of course, along with God and my family. Appreciate y'all, man. Give yourselves a hand. All right. Got my man up in here, Rich Lloyd, the statistician. Him, and I don't think I'm missing now Chanel. What's going on, Rich Lloyd? Rich Lloyd says, G, do you think the Joneses made these trades to take away Fluce's excuses rather than thinking they're making a run this season? Rich Lloyd, I think 2 things can be true. I think a part of it is the Cowboys want to see if they can make a run. But I think they just turned the fire up on Matt Eberflus. I'm not saying he on the hottest of hot seats. They just turned the fire up, though. Yeah, they turned the fire up on him. I promise you, they turned the fire up on Matt Eberflus, and I don't blame him. They turned the fire up. Okay, you don't have the players? All right, we're going to get you some players. Rich Lloyd, think about this. He has almost, at every position group on defense, Matt Eberflus now has a superstar player. At the tackle position, he's got an elite defensive tackle in Quentin Williams. Kenny Clark is a great defensive tackle. Not elite, but great. When you look at what they have done on the edge between James Houston, Donovan Ezeraku, Jadeveon Clowney. Donovan Ezeraku and Jadeveon Clowney have been rocking. They have been rocking. So that is vastly improved. Go to the next level. Linebacker, you give him Logan Wilson, Demarion Overshown coming back. Go to the next level. Cornerback. Man, we paid Deron Bland. It is what it is. We probably need to move Deron Bland back inside a little bit more. But Kalen Carson is back. They said he looked really good in the last game. Part of that may be because they didn't target him, but we'll see. But he got Savon Revel Jr. Savon Revel Jr. is a prototypical cornerback. Now, we're not going to put all this, a whole lot of, Otis and saying that he's going to go out here and tear this thing up tonight. We're not going to say all that. But as he gets going and stays healthy, I believe he's going to be an elite cornerback. And I think he's going to show some flashes. I think he's going to show some flashes every single game. The only place that Matt Eberflus could really say that he doesn't have what he needs is safety. But every other position group on defense, they got him there almost. Yeah, Cowboys want to see an improvement. Yeah, they done turned that thing up. They done turned that thing up on them. They done turned that thing up. So, yeah, they want to see improvement from Matt Eberflus. One thing I'm learning about the Joneses in this new change that they're trying to do, Rich Lloyd, I do think they're trying to appease the fan base to a degree. They do want the fan base to be happy. They're going to give Matt Eberflus every opportunity to succeed. But if that defense gets worse with these players at it, nah, Matt done. I tell you, we can book it. He done. But I got a strange feeling, Rich Lloyd. Matt Eberflus is going to look a lot better. Oh, okay, I see you, Pooba D. Pooba D said he need a 3X. He said he already done won. I see you, Pooba D. All right, it's my man, Skeptical Fan, back in here. What's up, Skeptical Fan? Skeptical Fan said the Cowboys have to play great and hungry. Skeptical Fan, I've already talked about my 4 things I'm looking for tonight. My 4 things I'm looking for tonight. How does Brian Schottenheimer channel this energy? I haven't wrote this down, so I may forget a couple of them. But how does he channel this energy of Marshawn Nealon and everything that has happened with this team? Number 2, I want to see what does Brian Schottenheimer do with this doggone offense that has been putrid over the last 2 games. What does he look like against Pete Carroll? Number 3, I want to see what the presence of Demarion Overshown does for this defense overall. And number 4, and last but not least, I want to see how Matt Eberflus uses the pieces that the Cowboys have given him and the pieces that are coming back. I'm very interested in that, and we're going to talk about that tonight on Cowboys After Dark. Michael Smooth! Appreciate that $2 super chat. All right, let's listen to more of this. Todd Archer, I think it's interesting what he's saying about the right tackle position. But again, he's saying that Terrence Steele, it looks like Terrence Steele took the majority of the snaps. Or he took the snaps with the first team. So that tells me he probably beat Nate Thomas out, or the Cowboys are saying the money stays on the field. Haven't heard from Brian Schottenheimer, so maybe we'll hear after the game, see how it turns out.
I was struck by just the words that Solomon Thomas said, and if anybody in that locker room it needs somebody to lean on or talk to, they have to know that Solomon Thomas is the guy to go to. And then for really anybody that was listening to his words outside of football, just the what we need for mental health, how people should act, how you should go about finding help for yourself.
Queen, I forgot to ask you. Queen says she can rock. Okay, so you can rock that sweatshirt, the two-tone rock shirt. All right, Queen, get it sent in tonight. Get everything sent in to me tonight. What we're looking for, the score of the game. How many tackles will Demarion Overshown get tonight? Whoever gets that number right, and if multiple people get it right, I'm going to pick it out of a hat or whatever I need to do, and you will be getting that Demarion Overshown jersey. All right. Appreciate your opinion, the Queen. Appreciate you. Oh, okay, I got you, Angie. I got you.
And don't be ashamed. And it's okay to not be okay. And all those, I thought his words yesterday were powerful.
Appreciate you, Justin Bradley.
That we can all take from in all of our lives, not just a football locker room, to understand how to get through things when everything is not going the best for you. And there are always brighter days, and there are ways that you can look ahead and realize you have people to surround yourself with. I go back to Jerry Brown, and I think I was struck by how his mom, Stacey Jackson, helped those players, and specifically Josh Brent, during a difficult time. I go back to Marcus Paul and what the players went through that week.
Now, I'm probably going to skip through this part a little bit because they're talking about this stuff with Marshawn Nealon. And like I said, we've talked about that. And it's time now to channel that energy also and get that energy on the field. But I want us to think about this. Dak Prescott said something that everybody should be honoring: his family's wishes. I don't know if y'all caught this, but Dak Prescott said that his family doesn't want this to be called mental health. They said they don't want this to be classified as mental health because I think the family may be saying something that maybe we don't like. Let me tell you something, as somebody who has dealt with a lot of people issues. There's another side to this too, though. Sometimes people don't have to be suffering from what we call mental health. They don't have to be suffering from mental health. You just never know what happens to people sometimes. I have seen people that have had great upbringings, great support system, great family life, job, friends, money, everything you name. And for no reason. Snap. You never know. You never know. You just never know. And so his family has asked that not to call this mental health. I get it. I get it because I talk and teach on this. Everything isn't mental health. I know that makes some people mad, but everything isn't mental health. Sometimes people might just snap. Bottom line. And if you think about it in the grand scheme of things, what have we heard for the most part? And I'm not even going to harp on this because, like I said, it's time to channel this in a different direction. But we haven't really heard a whole lot about Nealon. Other than his mom passed away. We haven't heard anything. That's pretty much it. So I'm just saying, and I understand how people use these, and they do want to attach it to mental health. But everything, and this is why I caution people, everything isn't mental health. Sometimes, man, people snap. Just snap. Could have everything going right and just snap. It is what it is. All right, so let's move on from this. They have talked about the Cowboys, their DeMario and Overshown coming back, the right tackle situation, and all of these things. We have about 16. We're at about 6:16. I want to get off of here at 7 o'clock sharp. Make sure y'all got all y'all food and everything ready so y'all can be ready for that kickoff for this game. It's gonna be an incredible game. I just got a strange feeling the Cowboys are going to be so hyped up. You can't tell me the Cowboys are not going to be on fire with that Marshawn Nealon jersey in that doggone locker room. Nah, man. I'm the type of person, man. I'm a self-motivator, but when you can give me a little something extra, I'm one of those people like Michael Irvin talked about. I'm a will person too. Sometimes something may happen, man, and I can go beyond what I even thought I could go beyond because I will myself based on an occasion or a situation to just step outside of myself and just do some incredible. I'm telling this, man. All right. Email address is right back in there. Email address is back in the chat. All right. So let's listen to Lincoln Kennedy, and then we're going to close out the show with the game preview and the road to the playoffs and how this game affects us tonight. All right. Let's get to Lincoln Kennedy.
The only guy that, well, this was our first attempt, but usually when people are with this time difference, as Bobby is experiencing in Vegas right now as our Cowboys
True
insider,
Cowboy?
he can't
What up,
find
nephew?
anyone. And Lincoln Kennedy comes through, the NFL All-Pro, the Raiders legend, and Raiders analyst joining us on the D&M Leasing Hotline here on 105.3 The Fan. Good morning, Lincoln. Thank you. How are you doing?
Good morning, gentlemen. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Saw you on local TV yesterday before my flight out of Vegas, previewing the game. Lincoln, are the Raiders this bad, and how surprised are you? We were thinking about and talking about Pete Carroll here, Brian Schottenheimer, with everything he learned from Pete. Geno Smith turned around the career in Seattle. Are you surprised they're this bad?
Appreciate you, Greg. Greg said, love the energy, G. So glad I came across your channel after the Parsons trade because everyone else gave no hope for this team. Hey, man. I'm a Cowboys fan. Now, when I used to follow the Golden State Warriors, I wasn't a Golden State Warriors fan. I was a Steph Curry fan and Klay Thomas, and they were winning fan. When I followed the Chicago Bulls, I wasn't a Chicago Bulls fan. I was a Michael Jordan fan. But as it pertains to the Cowboys, I'm a Cowboys fan. I'm a Cowboys fan who, no matter who comes and goes, I'm rolling with them boys. Okay, now that I see Lincoln Kennedy, he looks recognizable. I see it.
Yeah, I really am. I mean, coming into the season, there was always high expectations, and because there has been such a large amount of turnover for this team over the past couple of years, it's really hard to expect anything less. I mean, you really couldn't think that you could go worse than that they had last year when they only won 4 games.
No doubt,
but,
they coming.
for the Raiders, they're still trying to figure it out.
They are coming, no doubt about it. I've done T-shirts before, Lee Grant. I've done them before, but the problem is I did the I forgot what they call them, but you basically send your designs in and they send the shirts out. My problem with those is the quality. I don't like the quality. I want to be able to do the quality control. What I'm working on is I'm going to do all of this stuff in-house on the next go-round. So I plan to have a whole T-shirt set up, hopefully here in the next 3 to 4 weeks. And then we're going to start getting that merch out just in time for the Cowboys, the last part of the season. And hopefully we'll be making that playoff push, Lee Grant. Yes, sir. Coming.
It's not a fine. The biggest question for me, guys, is who ultimately is making the decisions? Is it Pete Carroll? Is our coaches on the hot seat? And the reason why is because this is a performance-based business. And when you don't perform, changes have to happen. So does ownership feel compelled to go back out there and deal with more coaches? With all that being said, it's anyone's game. They just got to finish the season strong. Hopefully they can find a way to turn things around and maybe even start tonight against the Cowboys.
What is the Raiders' strength and what is their weakness?
Defense and offensive line is their weakness. The identity of this team is definitely defense.
Yeah, I'm about to say,
yeah. It's been a troublesome in the group for the entire season because they really lacked depth. After Colt Miller went down, it left a big hole in the offensive line. And then when JPJ went down, who's probably, in my opinion, the most tenacious of the offensive linemen the Raiders have, when he goes down, they really lost their identity. So they're still trying to figure things out. Besides that, they haven't created any offensive continuity throughout the season. So they've struggled on offense. There was only a few weeks ago when they played Kansas City and they only had 30 offensive plays. So, Kansas City had more first downs than the Raiders had plays. So it's one of those things where you're still trying to figure it out. And unfortunately, going up against a league in the NFL where everybody is good or everybody has potential, sometimes it can be embarrassing.
Okay, I appreciate you, Lolly. I'll let you know.
To evaluate Ashton Genty then because of the offensive line woes?
It's difficult to evaluate anybody because of the inconsistencies.
Now, I told y'all this when we did the Cowboys preview last week. I'm going to take the Cowboys' defensive performance with a grain of salt against the Raiders. Lincoln Kennedy is explaining to you what I've already explained to you. The Raiders' offense is putrid. Their offensive line is terrible. Terrible. It ain't even terrible. It's terrible. Quinnen Williams, Kenny Clark, Oso Diggy Jadeveon Clowney, Donovan Ezaraku, James Houston. I mean, they could suit up one of us and we would probably eat on the Las Vegas Raiders offensive line. The Cowboys should eat on this team. I'm going to take this defensive performance tonight with a grain of salt because they ought to eat on how bad this doggone offense is. This offense is ranked number 31. Cowboys defense, if there's ever been a get-right game, this it. Anybody, you think about what teams do in high school for homecoming. Anybody ever knows what they do for homecoming? Typically, they try to pick a game they can win for homecoming. Well, if there's ever a team that the Cowboys want to pick after everything that they've went through, or a team that's on their schedule after everything they just went through, it's the Raiders. Cowboys should be able to destroy them defensively. This is the very reason why Pete Carroll knows his only hope is to hold the Cowboys to no points. Try to hold them to below 20 points. It's the only way he can win because his offense, I doubt they'll even be able to muster 13. And I'm going to throw in 17 or 20 with it being the Cowboys defense. But if these players play up front like they should, I don't even think they'll score 20.
The only thing you can probably evaluate is the number of plays the defense has been out there on the field. That's why that's their true identity, the Raiders' true identity. But as far as evaluating any offensive playmakers, it's hard to create it when you don't have a big load of plays. If you look at the Raiders' game total plays in games throughout this season, I mean it's considerably low from what I've been used to. I think the lowest that I saw obviously was the Kansas City game, but there was a couple games where they only had about 50 plays. Which, guys, when I played the game, we averaged around 70 to 80 plays a game. That's how fast we went, and that's what I thought is normal. Everything's kind of been reduced with people taking their time, and obviously all the other offenses being able to control the ball a little bit better. But when it's hard to have that many plays, you don't have that many plays out there. It's hard to create any kind of continuity.
Lincoln Kennedy joining us here on 105 through the Van, previewing Cowboys and Raiders. They'll play here in Las Vegas this evening. Lincoln, we were talking about this a little bit a couple segments ago, that after the first quarter specifically in the last 5 or 6 weeks, Raiders have had a ton of problems scoring consistently. Like they've been a first quarter team for the most part. What is it that's causing them so many problems where they get off to some of these good starts and then they just completely slow down in the second and third quarter?
Most of the time, the good starts come from scripted plays, and you can't script an entire game for a situation. So, there's times where you just have to make adjustments and be able to go out there and perform. And that's what the Raiders have issues with when it comes to adjusting. Look, when they go out in the first series, sometimes they have success, and they have enough success for opposing defenses sort of take notice and want to slow them down and do things different. The Raiders haven't yet to really make those adjustments to really put them over top after those other teams make those adjustments. But for the most part, the fact that Geno Smith has been hit so many times, has thrown so many interceptions, this is a quarterback that sometimes doesn't have a chance to look downfield and really survey downfield because the offensive line is so poor, the protection is so poor. They don't have a lack of run game. So there's really nothing the opposing defenses need to fear after that first series that's usually scripted.
I'm telling y'all, Cowboys defense, I already think they're going to be better, but I'm going to take this game with a grain of salt. It's the Marshawn Kneeland game. I think the Cowboys are going to be so fired up. They got new pieces on defense. Man, the Cowboys tonight, boy, this defensive performance tonight. I mean, maybe I'm expecting a little too much, but I just think this defensive performance tonight might be off the chain, especially with Quinnen Williams and Logan Wilson. I just think it may be off the chain. I think they're going to have Geno Smith running for his life tonight. I think they're going to have Geno Smith running for his life. I really do. I won't be shocked if Jadeveon Clowney gets 2 sacks. Donovan Ezra will get 1 sack. Donovan Ezra will get 1 sack. Quentin Williams gets a sack or 2. I will not be surprised if the Cowboys come out of this game with a total of 5 or 6 sacks. The defense against this offensive line, it's the very reason why Ashton Jeanty has looked pedestrian at best. Joshua, appreciate that super chat. He said, never been this excited about some Cowboys defense. Man, let me tell you something. You too. You too. Angela Rebel Chicks, I also agree with you on Ferg. The Cowboys paid Ferg. I guess I'm not mad at it. I think the Cowboys need a more dynamic tight end. I really do. Because Ferg is not in the vein, at least at this point, he is not in the vein of some of these tight ends the Cowboys have had. I don't put him on the level or a conversation with a guy like Jason Witten. The Cosbys of the world. I mean, I'm just not boy, I've been struggling with Ferguson. Cowboys paid him, I get it, but I've been struggling with Ferguson. I was hoping the Cowboys were going to go and get the kid from Atlanta, and then they went and just to add insult to injury, they went and wasted a 2nd-round draft pick on Schoonmaker. Boy, I'm just telling you, Cowboys on this tight end thing. Spanford is good at blocking and things of that nature, but man, Cowboys, we got Ferg now. I just say this: can you please use him?
How can they tap into some of the success they're having with the scripted plays? Is there a way you think that they could be, presenting the offense and cleaning things up that allows them to tap into some of those things that they have success when they're playing within structure?
Well, in my estimation, it's possible to slow things down and to not necessarily dumb things down, but simplify things in a sense where you're only running a handful of plays. Every offense that I ever played for, ever been on, had a handful of plays that we can call against any defense and be able to go out there and perform. The Raiders have yet to establish that because they've had inconsistencies with injuries and ineffective play across the board. So I think that you try to simplify it and just call some plays. And look, for my standpoint, coaches coach, players play. So a coach goes to a player and says, look, I'm going to depend on you. I'm going to rely on you because, Lincoln, we're going to run over your side. I need you to get things done. It's up to the player to go out there and perform. And then if it doesn't, then you have an impasse that then something has to be dealt with. Possibly that Raider, that player, or that coach has to go because somewhere there's a difference that's not getting the performance out that you need.
Raider great and color analyst Lincoln Kennedy previewing tonight right here on 105.3 The Fan. You're going to hear all the pregame, play-by-play, and the postgame coverage right here. The Cowboys' new additions, Lincoln, what did you think of Quentin Williams, and what should the expectation level be with a lot of new pieces? Logan Wilson at linebacker. They're getting their rookie in the secondary.
Raheem, we're giving away the quarter zips. We're going from YNs to young G's, young gentlemen. We are giving away the quarter zips for whoever gets the scores right. We're going to give away 2 of those to 2 men, and then we got the women, 2 women. We got the tops. We're going to give away 2 women tops. Dominique Pittman has already taken one of the quarter zips, so we got 2 and 2 left. And then Raheem, for whoever gets the amount of tackles Overshown gets tonight, they will be getting the Damarion Overshown jersey. I just put my email address in the chat again. Send your scores, send your tackles there.
Overshown coming back as well. How tough do you think that will be for the Cowboys to put all that together? Or do you think Cowboy fans should be super excited because there's just some new bodies on a horrific defense?
Well, that's right. The latter is the choice. The Cowboy fans should be excited. When you talk about the names that these guys have and some of the things that they can do, once they're able to put it all together,
I agree,
it's
Robert
really going to be a force. It's no secret. The Cowboys offense can move the football, but they do have problems slowing down people at times. And then you can get into a shootout with high-power offenses. But once this defense begins to gel, once they find a way to generate a little bit more pressure on opposing quarterbacks, I think they're going to be fine. Those defensive tackles you guys got are really frightening, especially with this offensive line coming tonight. So this could be disastrous for the Raiders when you talk about this young but influential defense.
Lincoln, where did you stand on moving Crosby or not?
No, you don't move. You don't move Crosby. Look, when you look at the Raiders and you look at the most recent history, especially since they've been to Vegas, they don't have a foundation other than Max Crosby. And it's unfortunate. And usually teams build that up with, their draft choices and stuff like that, players acquired. There's been so much turnover with the Raiders over the last couple of years. There's no consistency. When they let Josh Jacobs go to Green Bay, they kind of started over again. And yes, Ashton Jeanty may be a force in the future to be reckoned with, but right now he's still a rookie. You talk about the Brock Bowers, who's going into his second year. There's no longevity on this team once you look past 4 or 5 years, and that's where Max Crosby comes in. No, you don't deal him away. You don't get rid of him.
Lincoln, outside of Max, where is the pass rush coming from right now for the Raiders? And how is Dallas has struggled? Dallas has created pass rush for teams where there hasn't been any at times.
Now, he said they don't have no other pass rushers. I told you what I would do. I know how I'm going to help Terrence Steele tonight. I'm going to run 12 personnel, and I'm going to have Brevin Spanford on the side where he is. I mean, I'm sorry. This might be a night that Ferg might not get a lot of work. If it's me, if I'm running 11 personnel, Spanford is going to see some of those snaps. Wherever Crosby is, I'm lining up Brevin Spanford on the same side. That's what I would do if I'm the Cowboys. You cannot let Crosby, he's the game wrecker. He's the only game wrecker they have. I am not going to let, Max Crosby loose on my Cowboys defense. On my Cowboys offense if I'm Brian Schottenheimer. That's what I'm going to do. You got to help him out. Angie said if we go 3 and out, it's going to be a long night. Angie, let me tell you something. We got to score on that first drive, and it's got to be a touchdown. If the Cowboys can get a touchdown on that first drive, the game is pretty much over. The Cowboys can put this game away with a touchdown on their first drive. If they don't get a touchdown on their first drive, then what I'm understanding is that Pete Carroll has dialed up his number. Freddie Morales, he says sometimes some family issue will set someone off to the point where they decide they're better off gone. Yeah, Freddie Morales, kind of experienced this. Better off gone than to keep living. Talking from personal experience, I lost my great-nephew to suicide recently. Prayers up, my brother. Prayers. Brady, sometimes people snap. It don't be what everybody think it is.
Especially in the last few weeks. So outside of Max, what are the options? Where should Dallas have some of their concern? Should it just be double teaming Max Crosby and trying to chip him?
Yeah.
That's going to happen no matter what. But there hasn't been a consistency. I mean, you had guys like Malcolm Kuntz that we were have high
all right,
expectations
Angie,
for.
we about to do the Cowboys preview show, and then we're gonna get out of here too about
Tyree
7 or
Wilson, number 1 draft
6:50
choice,
somewhere in there.
He's coming into like a contract sort of year to see where his future might be, because the Raiders are going to have that option they're going to have to deal with in the near future, whether or not they want to keep him and move on with him. So they're Patrick Graham's defense, the defensive coordinator for the Raiders, has been really induced by pass rush. You've got to get a pass rush to the quarterback. You got to get to the quarterback soon, because there are whole.
Blaze 27, you're exactly right. The Cowboys offense has 3 and outs at the most in opportune times, and somewhere else they struggle in the red zone. Man, this doggone Brian Schottenheimer gets a little too fancy in the red zone. Bro, if you want to have a power run game, then run the doggone ball. All right, well, Lincoln Kennedy, I appreciate it. Lincoln ain't telling me nothing I didn't already know. All right, so rather than going to the road to the playoffs, we'll save that for tonight, depending upon we'll save it for tonight, and we'll base that off of the Cowboys winning or losing tonight, but I believe the Cowboys are going to win. Y'all make sure y'all get those scores and get how many tackles DeMario Overshown will get sent to my email address. I'll make sure me and my wife will go through those tonight, and then when we come back for Cowboys After Dark, we are going to announce the winners. I'll send you an email also and let you know that you won, to tell you what you need to do next. So let's go into the Cowboys preview show. We've already went through this, but I was just going to give a quick rehash because this is exactly what we're going to come back to tonight to see if the Cowboys did some of the things that we talked about. Let's see here. So we're going to see if the Cowboys did some of the things that we talked about. But this is a big game for the Cowboys. All right, let's let this load up. This is a big game for the Cowboys tonight, guys. This is a big game. It truly is a humongous game for the Cowboys. The Cowboys, if they truly are serious about the playoffs, it's got to start tonight. It's got to start tonight. There is no other time. No teams, we've already noticed it, no teams are going to help the Dallas Cowboys out. They're not going to help the Dallas Cowboys out. So at the end of the day, the Cowboys are just going to have to face the facts. The Cowboys have got to face the facts. Nobody is going to help the Cowboys out. The only way the Cowboys are going to be able to go to the playoffs is that they're going to have to win. There's no other way to slice it. Cowboys got to win. I think they're going to win tonight. I just think the energy for the Cowboys is going to be incredible tonight. I truly believe it's going to be incredible. Man, when they do this thing with Marshawn Kneeland and they bring that jersey out, it's on and popping. All right, guys, let's get ready to get out of here. Let you guys go and start getting ready for your food. I'm going to try to get out about 10 minutes early. We're going to run through the Cowboys preview show, try to be done at about 6:50-ish, and then it's on to the food, and then we'll be back for Cowboys After Dark. Yep. Oh, I'm excited tonight, man. Real quick, storylines. Brian Schottenheimer versus Pete Carroll. It's the Marshawn Kneeland game. Will Brian Schottenheimer be able to channel that energy of the Marshawn Kneeland thing and get this team back to its winning ways? Tonight, the debut of Williams and Logan for the Dallas Cowboys. The comeback of Overshown and Rebel Jr. Geno Smith has been struggling mightily with a terrible offensive line. Ashton Jeanty has been anything but the number 6 overall pick in the draft because of that terrible offensive line. The Raiders' offensive line. Did I say it already 2 times? I'm going to say it a 3rd time. The Raiders' offensive line is terrible. Looks like Solomon Thomas will not be playing tonight. I'm pretty sure everyone else on this list is playing. The Cowboys, Demarion Overshown, Savon Rebel Jr. want to see if Perion Winfrey is going to play tonight. Looks like the Raiders, they've lost their right guard, injured reserve. Tight end Brock Bowers, he's great, but he's coming off of an injury. Colton Miller, ankle, put on injured reserve. That offensive line just got that much worse. I believe the Cowboys will have Geno Smith running for his life tonight. The Cowboys are better every which way but loose against the Raiders. The Raiders are one of the worst, if not the worst, offense in the league. The Cowboys are better everywhere offensively. But when it comes to the defense, and this ain't saying much, the Cowboys' defense has been putrid. The Raiders' defense, it's pretty good. Pretty good. So the Raiders, it's kind of a flip-flop game. The Cowboys are better everywhere offensively, but the Raiders are better everywhere. The Cowboys are better everywhere offensively. The Raiders are better everywhere. And you know what? I might have to change this. The D-line for the Cowboys is probably better than the Raiders. The linebacker position might be a wash. Cornerback could be a wash now, but safety, yes, they're better. Coaching right now, I'd have to say they're better because Matt Eberflus has just not gotten it done. These are the key matchups tonight. Cowboys D-line versus Raiders O-line. That will be the story tonight. I don't think the Raiders will have an answer for the Cowboys defensive line. I just don't. Geno Smith versus the Cowboys secondary. I believe the Raiders are going to have to roll him out, get him on the move, do everything they can do. Will he have time or can they manufacture some time for him to hit the open man? We're also going to have Genty versus the Cowboys defensive line. I don't think it's happening tonight. Cowboys O-line against the Raiders D-line. Max Crosby is what I'm looking at. Max Crosby versus Steele and Thomas it's going to be a story of the night. I believe the Cowboys need to get Brevin Spanford, not Jake Ferguson. They need Spanford over there to help out with Max Crosby. The offensive keys. Cowboys, reestablish the run with Javonte Williams. Protect Dak Prescott. Feed George Pickens. Show Pete Carroll something different. Try to get an outside run game. Get aggressive in your play calling and score 30 points. Run the ball. I want to see Javonte Williams 20 to 25 times. Blue is inactive again. I want to see Hunter Lipke at the fullback position. Spanford on the side where Crosby is. No turnovers, Cowboys. Minimize the penalties. We need 35 or less penalty yards. We need to take about 5 or 6 deep shots in this game. Score touchdowns. Can we stop using Turpin so much? Let's get him in an explosive position and get some explosive plays with Turpin. Utilize the speed, and let's put Flournoy at the third wide receiver. This is what I need from Matt Eberflus tonight. All we need is for Matt Eberflus to get 6 defensive stops. 6 defensive stops should be enough for the Cowboys offense to mollywop the Raiders. The Cowboys also, I believe, need to force 2 turnovers tonight. They need to terrorize Geno Smith. Stop Ashton Genty. Stop the run. Disguise the blitz, and let's get more of it because they can't block, and the Cowboys defense needs to play physical. Williams and Clark, we need the Cowboys. I think they're going to get back to rushing forward. Cowboys need to be careful with the 5-man fronts. Limit the snap counts of both Demarion Overshown and Revel Jr. I'm ready for them to come back. Don't want to overwork them because the true game is going to be the Eagles. We need better safety play. And I don't know how we're going to get it, but we need better safety play. Stop the run. No explosive plays tonight. Play physical. Gap integrity with Wilson and Overshown. Create some turnovers. I want to see a better Kevontae Turpin tonight in the kicking game. Kevontae Turpin is out there tiptoeing, man. This dude need to get back out there and run that ball. I want to see him back in that kickoff game. Again, Blue is inactive. These are my thoughts for the game tonight. I believe the Cowboys will run for 150 yards plus. I think they run for 150 yards plus. They're going to try to get Javonte Williams back on track. Cowboys D-line, I believe they're going to have multiple sacks. I believe Pickens and CeeDee Lamb will have a big night. Williams and Logan, instant payoff. We are going to see Quinnen Williams and Logan Wilson flashing all over the screen. We are going to be excited tonight when we see them play. Cowboys defense, I got faith. I believe they're going to play better. Cowboys are going to play better. I do. I believe they're playing better. Quinnen Williams will make everybody around him better. Logan Wilson, there'll be better communication between the back end and the front. The plays, everything, how it's going. The Cowboys defense is going to play better. I believe the Cowboys will play physical all around because of Marshawn Nealon. This is a must-win game. And I believe the Cowboys will win this game 31-13. I believe the Cowboys score a minimum of 31 points. I believe they beat the Raiders 31-13. Now, if Pete Carroll come out here, and I don't think he's going to do it, but if Pete Carroll come out here with a game plan, it could be a long night. Some of these Monday night games have been atrocious. I don't want the Cowboys to be one of them, because if they can hold the Cowboys to 17 points, I believe the Raiders will beat them 20-17. I believe they'll beat them 20-17 if they can hold the Cowboys. But I think the Cowboys are going to be too much for them tonight. I believe the Cowboys are going to be too much for them tonight. The Cowboys got a lot of emotion pinned up, man. They're coming out of a bye week. They got the excitement of new players. Got the excitement of Overshown back, Revel back. They got so many things going, and then the Marshawn Nealon dedication, the jersey being brought to the field. Cowboy fans, we about to see a heck of a game out of the Cowboys tonight. 31-13 might even be more. It might even be a 40 burger. I agree with you, Rose. We might actually see a 40 burger tonight, man. This got the potential of being 40 ball tonight. It's got that potential. Ryan R. Yeah, it's got that potential, Ryan R. I can see a 40 burger. All right, man. Y'all get them scores in. Let me put this in one last time. Y'all get those scores in. Get those tackles in for the Marion Overshown. Get it in. And we are going to announce the winners tonight on Cowboys After Dark. Man, appreciate y'all rocking with me on this show today. Appreciate y'all rocking with me. I'll see y'all later on tonight. DC4L, God bless. Prayers up for Marshawn Nealon. Prayer up for all the players, especially the Dallas Cowboys. And until the next time, let's talk Cowboys when we talk facts. Peace.